Hello everyone, my name is Stephen Hilborn and I am going to be your instructor for menu and facility design. And it is my pleasure to be teaching you this new online remote version of this course. As you'll see here, I believe you are right now looking at the syllabus. So a few things that we're going to do today is this is going to be a quick introductory video about the course. This would be similar to what you would have in the first week of class. What I'll be doing today is going over the syllabus. I'm going to show you the PowerPoint briefly, maybe go through it a little bit, and then kind of just give you some directions on what the rest of the semester is going to look like. Okay. Also, as you'll see, just so you know, my camera is facing right here, although my screen is over here, so you will see a little bit of a difference, and I hope we're okay with this. All right, so a couple things that you need to know about this course. So the course code is FOSR 2018, and it's called Menu and Facility Design. Now, this course is going to be considered remote learning or online, and technically it's called a synchronous course where every week we have the ability to meet up. Now, that being said, we won't be having an online class where you must attend every week. Although about halfway through the semester or so, we have to use a training software, or a design software, I should say, that I'll have to train you on. And that will require a lot more of us face-to-face, or at least over the webcam. So look at the schedule of activities. I'll give you lots of heads up and lots of reminders and notice about that. A little bit of instructor information. My name is Stephen Hilborn. Some of you I know. I do recognize a few of the names on the course list, and I'm excited to be working with you again. This is one of my favorite classes, hands down, and I hope it translates just as much fun online as it did in class. A couple things about when we can meet. So this message is either going, there's two sections, a Tuesday and a Wednesday evening class from 4 to 7 p.m. That being said, the majority of the classes will be kind of self-taught, and you will go through the material when it makes the most sense for you, unless otherwise indicated. Now, we will always have meetings Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 4 to 6 p.m. that are not mandatory, but you can drop in and ask me questions, and I can provide some insight on assignments or the major project or just learning in general. And that will be through this web link right here. I'll post this web link all through Blackboard, through most of my assignments on the announcements page. You click on this at any time, and this will bring you to my personal meeting page, in which you can meet with me just like you are right now. So Tuesday, Wednesdays, 4 to 6 p.m. It does not matter what section that you are in. Just feel free to click on that. And then also Monday mornings from 10 a.m. to 12. So I'll just be available. Most of the stuff will be handed out Monday morning for you to complete by Friday at 5 p.m. That Tuesday, Wednesday, that'll be a great time for you, give you a couple days to have gone through the material, and then come and ask me some questions, and then you'll be able to complete it. All right, next section. So in this particular course, we are looking at two major components. First of all, being menu design, and then the second part being facility design. And the actual syllabus and the schedule is kind of broken up that way. For the first, I believe, 6 weeks of this semester, we will be doing menu design solely. And then the last 7 weeks, we'll be doing facility design and working on that major project more. So we're using this in a lot of different ways, and I'll go through the course outcomes just a little bit with you. So a few of the course outcomes is that we want to be able to create menus for various different styles of service. We'll look at menu analysis and how we determine clientele and location and trends. We'll talk about storage, layout, movement of food, people, employees. We want a broad overall management understanding of the management responsibilities in regards to workspace and equipment requirements. So we'll actually have you breaking down menus and trying to determine what kind of kitchen equipment or service equipment you would need. Plan the flow of the actual people, product, and food, like I said, and then also conceptualize and present to a stakeholder your own restaurant concept. And this is where it gets a lot of fun, because you get to, in this course, create and design your very own restaurant from the name and the concept to the equipment, to the layout, the marketing, the brand. And I really lead you through how to do this. So those are our 6 learning outcomes. The presentation component I've actually removed from the major assignment because it's very difficult the way it is right now. Rather, you'll be presenting a report to me in which I will read through and mark you. So another great thing about course resources here, no textbook is required of you. The only thing that you will be required to use is a design program called Microsoft Visio. It's part of the Microsoft Office suite of programs. Some of you might have it on your computers. The school computers have this program, and we're going to be doing something called remote access. Now, remote access is where you will access one of the computer labs. I'll show you in the future how to do that, and you'll be using you'll log in virtually onto their computer and use all the software and applications that the school has. That is where this whole online component of learning might get a little bit more tricky. It's the first time doing it for me and the first time doing it for you. So please be aware that I will give you as much help as I possibly can, and I will be aware that this is new to everyone, so I'll give you some leeway when it comes to that. Okay, so I won't go through the evaluations quite yet. I'll just go right down to the schedule of activities, and I will just go through the first 7 weeks or so before the reading week. So very first week is what we're doing right now. So this is week 1, class 1, and we're going through the outline and the syllabus. We will talk about a short PowerPoint about what is a menu, and then I will introduce the major project. I'm going to introduce the major project on a whole separate video, so you can always review it whenever you need to. All of this stuff will be located on Blackboard. All of the videos would be through YouTube, but embedded in your Blackboard shell. So you just got to click on them. You'll be able to watch them full screen or small screen, whatever you would like. And that's how much of the learning will be done. And I think it kind of opens up you guys to taking this class when it makes sense in your schedule. I know many of you are working and many of you might be back home or overseas. So you're not so pigeonholed into that one time. So week 1, we'll introduce all the material, which we're doing right now. And then there are no evaluations, which is fantastic. Week 2, I will give you a short video introduction of a PowerPoint, as well as an introduction to our first assignment. Now, this will be available as of week 2 on Monday. You will have your first in-class assignment worth 7.5%, and that is due Friday by 5 p.m. And you'll see the following 2 weeks, it's the same kind of format. I'll introduce a video, I'll give you the PowerPoint, I will explain the assignment. You'll have the drop-in meeting from 4 to 6. Regardless what section you're in, those are always available. So it doesn't matter if you're technically in Tuesday, you can drop in on Wednesday and talk to me. Weekly assignment, 7.5%, and the same thing for week 4. Weekly assignment worth 7.5, due on that Friday at 5 p.m. Now the great thing, and you'll understand this as you read into the major project more, that each of these assignments kind of tackle a little bit of that project. Or teaches you how to approach that project. So that'll be great for you. On week 5, I'll do a test review. We'll have an in-class activity that can be included in the major project. And then we'll talk about some menu creation and marketing. And then, of course, those drop-in meetings. And then on week 6 is your first online test, which will also be completed through Blackboard. Again, I'll give you reminders on how this works. And this will be scheduled or to be completed on your scheduled class time. So if you are on Tuesday section from 4 to 7, you must take that test on Tuesday at 4. You can't take it on Wednesday. Okay? Drop-in meetings, whatever day I'm available, I will meet with you. That's fine. Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday, it doesn't matter to me. Just during those evaluations, you must be in your correct section in your correct time. This is where I'd ask you to nod if you understand, so I hope you're nodding. And then after week 7, it's when we start our software training. So I wanted to give you that software training before you left for reading week. Really go through what it all is. I'm still working out the details exactly how this is going to work, because you will have me on the screen giving you instructions, but you also need to be on the screen using the software. So unless you have two monitors, or maybe use your phone as the video and the monitor as for working, it might be difficult. So I'll probably pre-record the instructions as well, just in case people aren't able to do that. And then we'll get into our actual facility design components, which you'll all see here. Honestly, this is like the funnest part, and the students always love it. We get to get real creative with designing different spaces. And again, we got to make sure that you have great access to that program to be able to do that. So I won't go through all these following weeks, but just so you know, you'll have your final test on what we consider week 13. And that's only week 13 because week 8 is reading week, and I've given it a week. On week 14, your final project is due. So last week of school, the final project's due at Friday at 5 p.m. It's worth 25%, and I will show you a lot more about that. As far as evaluations go, I've gone through most of them here, but this little handy thing will tell you on what week, what assignments and learning outcomes. This is a great access or a great resource. I like to print these off and put them on my wall. Just to know what weeks you need to make sure that you're really paying attention to due dates and submission dates. There is one bonus assignment. I believe it'll be on week 12, if I am correct, which can, if you miss one of these assignments, can kind of bolster your marks. You can get a mark for that. So to stay tuned for more information there. Okay. So, and this will bring us to the first week PowerPoint, which is right here. Now, I'm not sure quite yet what I want to do as far as, do you want me to lecture every single PowerPoint, or do you want me just to post them? This particular one, it's very short and very small, so I'll go through it a little bit, and then I'll just leave it at that. So this is Menu and Facility Design Week 1, and as you know, my name is Stephen Hilborn, and this is my email. Please email me, communicate with me, drop in meetings with me. It's going to be really easy for us to be disconnected, so put some work into connecting with me so we can talk and I can get to know you and you can get to know me. My hope is that we're back in class soon and we get to see each other face to face, but if that's not the case, we'll still know each other through this video process. So I have a lot of education. I was a Georgian grad. I took a couple of the transfer programs through Georgian. I was able to get a degree in hospitality, a master's in education, and just a lot of great work experience, which I love. A lot of people right now might consider the industry a bad time to get into it. I actually would probably say the opposite. To be educated in this industry and have that diploma, you are in a perfect position for the future. We will come out of this and people will be just aching to be able to travel and go out to restaurants and go out to resorts. And we're going to need really good people at the helm. A lot of people in higher management will retire at this point, will look elsewhere. I think you are all very, very well positioned. I don't know if it'll be 1 year from now, maybe 2 years from now, to really do well in the industry, especially now that you will have this piece of paper, hopefully, I think after another semester. That's going to just put you at the top of the pile, and you really need that. So not to get into too much about that, I have a ton of experience across hotels, resorts, restaurants, bars, owning my own place, being an entrepreneur. And I could really help you in those areas. So if you ever need help, let me know. So a couple things. This is an example of the Visio program. So you'll see here that this is a restaurant that I kind of designed and created. This being a little retail space, all kinds of seating, a nice bar, a little cove area, and then a kitchen. And then fridges and all kinds of stuff in the back. And you'll see that this right here on the right-hand side is a blown-up version of the kitchen over on the left. So basically just giving a little bit more detail. This is a perfect example of what the design portion of this class will entail. you will be designing your own restaurant. Now, this is an actual brewery that I used this program, gave this to an engineer, and they were able to turn it into Red Hind Brewhouse. So this is Red Hind Brewhouse. It's on Bayview, up by Mapleview Drive in the 400, that new mall kind of area. Great restaurant. It's also a brewery as well, and you just really get an idea of all the cool different spaces. They have a top mezzanine. This is overlooking it. Really quite neat. So we went over the course outline in the syllabus. Again, these are all those outcomes that I wanted to look at. Here, this is a look at the industry. I love this little story. It's kind of what got me interested in the food and beverage industry. And I seen this years ago. So when you have time, please click on this link and follow through. And then we go through about 10 or 15 slides about the actual purpose of the menu and the reasons why they're so important. I think at this point here, I will just let you go through this on your own. And then I'll get some feedback from you all and wonder if you need me to go through and explain the points, or are you okay being more self-directed and reading them on your own? Okay, so I won't go through each individual one, but as you will see here, there is probably, we're only looking at about 14 or 15 slides, more introductory, kind of get your head wrapped around what is the food and beverage industry and what's going to be your role in this course in dealing with it. So we'll go through that. And then I guess the final bit that I want to talk to you about will be about Blackboard. So give me one moment. I should have had it open as soon as I figure out this situation.